People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, obviously, the game against Leicester threw up many talking points. I say many, not too many, it's a cup game. But obviously, I'm sure many people speak about the young players, speak about Nicolas Pepe. Obviously, Leno's not really relevant, he did nothing wrong. But every game Leno plays, people will mention Martinez at this moment in time. And obviously there'll be Mesut Ozil. Now we know what's what. We know what's what as fans. Regardless of your opinion on Ozil, whether you think he's, you get the weird fanboys that think he's the best thing since sliced bread. You get the people that just hate the man's guts, and then you get the people in the middle who, can recognise his ability, question his consistency, question if he has a future here. If it was just based on ability, of course he does. But everything else, it's been a bit mediocre in the last recent years. I do think he is scapegoated a lot. I do think in the last couple of years it's been mediocre. Fans know what's what. We know the club want to move him out. We know he features no part in this club's plans. So I don't think we'll ever know the truth. But I think if this continues, this whole Ozil thing, if he doesn't move on this summer, I don't think they'll come out. But I do think the club owe it to the fans to just tell us what's what. Just come out and say Mesut Ozil will not be playing, or obviously I don't know what to say, but something along those lines. We deserve it, Like I said, fans know what's what. We know why he's not playing. But at the same time, for me, it's about moving. Arteta makes a big case of singing from the same hymn sheet, of being united, and he's worked he's fought tooth and nail to do that, with the wage cuts, with how he's spoken to the fans, with being very transparent with the transfer policy, with what he's doing with the players, with, for me, tying down the futures of Bukayo Saka and Aubameyang. Now, Ozil's future shouldn't tie too much into that, but I do think this season is a chance to kind of eradicate these silly soap operas and dramas that Arsenal have. You don't know if it's not the contracts, it's Ozil, it's something else. Like, I just feel, just come out and tell us, because you've got 350 grand a week player that's not in your, we're playing an FA Cup final against a good team, and he's not in your matchday squad. Are we that good that we can't include someone that's 350 bags a week? Because if Madrid didn't put out their highest earner, if Madrid had a Champions League final or a cup final and didn't include their highest earner, is that because they're good, or is there alarm bells? And the same goes for every top team. I think we're owed you're owed nothing in life, but I think we're owed something, man, because this is last year. It is what it is, I'm not going to tell the club what's what. There's legit reason to freeze him out, even though I don't agree with it. There's legit reason to just include him in the squad. There's legit reason to make him want to force his hands to want to move on. The man is fit. Obviously, Arteta himself, after the game, when pressed on why Ozil not being in the squad, he said, "I'm really happy with the performance of the players here, how difficult they are making things for the coaching staff to select the squad." And with all due respect, I don't see even a half-fit Mesut Ozil. I know Joe Willock's the future, but a half-fit Mesut Ozil, an underperforming Mesut Ozil, is a better 10 than Joe Willock will ever be, with all due respect to him. So, and what I mean by that is not to get at Joe. I mean, it doesn't hold much weight when you're talking about tactical and all of these sort of things when that is happening. If you're talking a training aspect and Joe is training better than Ozil, then fair play. But I think that's an easy one to ride, because many people will assume Ozil doesn't put a shift in training, despite the fact of we don't know if he does or doesn't, because we're not there, sort of thing. So clearly the club are trying to force him to move and whatnot. But like I said, I just want to be told what's what. He was further pressed on Ozil. He said, "The team is evolving and you can see the level they are achieving. So this is where we are at the moment. We want to evolve more, play better and compete better. So we need to keep maintaining that trend. Well, we are picking the players that we believe are the best for each game. And as you can see, we keep changing. So this is what we're trying to do." So again, maybe Ozil's chance will come and it's down to him to take it. But for me, I don't believe Ozil should play a main part of this season, because he's clearly not part of the short, medium or long-term plans. What I would like to know is actually our plans for, man. I would like to see him involved in the cup competitions and on the bench, because there is some use for him sometimes. But I just fundamentally, I don't care if we don't play him, but just tell the fans we're going now, man, because it's a bit mad. It's getting on a bit, man, and it's going to keep continuing, and it's an elephant in the room that we all kind of have just accepted. We need some clarity over the position. We can't keep going into press conferences and Arteta's ducking and diving these questions and the people above him are doing the same. We know what's what, but I think in the name of clarity and how we're trying to move and singing from the same hymn sheet, Tell fans what's what. Eliminate these problems. You know, Guendouzi and Torreira will not be at the club soon. So answering questions about their inclusion will be done. I don't want to have to keep making vids and talking about Mesut Ozil. I don't want Arteta to have to keep mentioning the man's name. Same way I wanted Aubameyang's deal tied up. I didn't want him going into the start of the season. Every good performance, you know, how are you going to keep him? Every bad performance, you know, he's going to move. How do you convince him to stay in bad times? I wanted that shut up so we can just focus on the football. And we can to a degree, but yeah, man. He spoke on, Ozil's chance might come, but I just think these are normal reasons he's given. He said we're picking the best players for each game. He then moved and spoke about Reece Nelson, and I think, you know, he kind of confirmed Reece Nelson's going out on loan. He said he played really well. I think he put in a really good performance. He wasn't in the squad for the last 2 Premier League games because of the competition we have up front, so everyone needs to fight for their place, and that's facts, people. We do need to fight for his place, but Nelson needs to be selfish with his development. And then he was asked on whether Nelson will go out on loan, and he could have squashed it, but he said, we don't discuss things that are happening behind closed doors, but he played really well tonight. I think that tells you everything you need to see. He was then further pressed on Mesut Ozil. He said, you can see that the players that we are changing and using every week, that is very difficult, not just for Mesut, but the rest of the players, for some to make the squad. Every week we try to pick the right players. Again, he said it will be difficult for others as well who weren't involved tonight in the Premier League, and they didn't play tonight either. We have a squad of 26, 27 players at the moment, and we cannot give them all game time. And then he was asked on if this situation provides confusion. He said, of course I understand, I respect your questions, but I have to do my job as fair as possible and pick players that are in my position are in the best condition to play. So maybe Ozil isn't training or in the best condition to play, but he keeps saying I'm fit. So is it a sporting decision? We'll never know. He was asked on Torreira, and we all know Torreira probably is going to leave. He said, I'm not making decisions because players might leave or stay. It's just for the players we see every day who are in the best condition to compete and get us closer to winning football matches. He said, again, I cannot discuss any internal things when pressed on Torreira departing. So, you know, he could have said Nelson's not going out alone and Torreira's part of my plans, but he didn't. We all know, I think Torreira's probably training to the best, but maybe he's disillusioned, maybe he's not fully fit, maybe he's not training to his best because he knows this move is happening and that's why he's not in the squad. Or maybe he's training well, he's just not being selected. We won't know until October the 1st, and certain players have been brought in, hopefully, and certain players are moved on. So we'll have to see. It's likely we go into the season with, you know, more question marks over players' futures, but it is what it is. That's all I wanted to talk about and say, so I've done that. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Please like, comment and subscribe, people. DG, I'm out.